got the Harry Fry.
Glamps in the matrix. Your life turning flipping pages. All the real talent behind them cages.
And we're back for Week 7 free picks brought to you by Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio and our sponsors at TeamSpadesPoker.com. Thank you guys for tuning back in. Last week was tough. We ended up missing 7 games on the regular schedule. And we're going to try to do better today, get closer to that 80-90% mark where we can really make some money. We're trying to stay above 50%, stay in the profit. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook. Join our Facebook group at TeamSpadesPoker.com and at Overtime Live Sports Bet Radio group. And tune in for next week when we'll be reviewing our picks from this week and just seeing how close we can get. So Week 6 was a pretty tough schedule, full of upsets. We missed a few games that we shouldn't have missed, and then we missed a few games that we think everybody missed. We started off with that Thursday night game, the Washington against Chicago game. Missed that one. It was a joke. Carson Wentz, he looked like trash as usual. Only put up 4 fantasy points. Still managed to get the win over the Bears on the road. That's what trash teams can do to each other. 49ers-Falcons game was one of the biggest upsets of the week. 49ers at home, on the road, Falcons at home. Falcons looked just as terrible as always, but Mariota managed to account for 3 touchdowns. So they managed to get that win 28-14. I don't know how they held San Fran to 14 points. But Garoppolo, everybody looked okay. Garoppolo had 2 passing touchdowns, threw the ball 41 times, almost 300 yards. So I don't know how they lost to Atlanta. Next game we missed was actually the Colts game. We had Jacksonville. Matt Ryan came out, threw 389 yards, 3 touchdowns. Great performance. Opened up the running game a little bit. Managed to get that done on the road. So Jacksonville, obviously, tough to bet on them. We missed the Browns game. The Browns were playing, and they just got out-coached. So nothing we could do for that. Tampa Bay upset was surprising. I'm sure that got everybody. Even though they were on the road, Steelers are just trash. Tampa Bay's running game is horrible. And somehow the Steelers won. It's tough, man. It's tough picking these upsets. The Tampa Bay game was probably the most surprising out of them. But the Panthers game, also, we had Carolina plus the 11. I don't know why we thought they'd be able to get that done. Rams came in, beat them by 14, held them to 10 points. And the Dallas game, we took Dallas plus 5. We thought they'd be able to keep it closer with the Eagles. Obviously, the Eagles are one of the best teams in the league. So we missed that game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 missed games out of the 16-game schedule. Still profitable. We got 1 unit up, but we're going to have to do better than that this week. So going into this week, Week 7, a lot of spreads I really like. A lot of games I feel confident in, even starting off with the Thursday night game. So for Thursday night, we're going to be seeing the Saints go into Arizona. Arizona at home, due for a win. They might have DeAndre Hopkins back, which is very much needed since they lost Marquise Brown. As long as the Saints are running with Andy Dalton, they have a good chance of losing. I'm sure he's going to come out and throw some interceptions. So Arizona only putting up 19 points per game. It's going to be hard to get it done, especially against that Saints defense. Saints are probably going to be without Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. I think Olave is hurt. Lattimore might be hurt. And they put up 26 points against Cincinnati with a big running game show, but I don't see them getting it done in this game. I don't know why. Even without Marquise Brown, I still think Kyler Murray's offensive presence is enough to to beat the Saints. Maybe a low-scoring game. Last week, Kyler Murray had 10 rushing attempts. He put up the 100 yards. He threw 0 touchdown passes. So clearly Arizona's struggling also. But we're going to take Arizona at home in this game for Thursday night. Next game on the schedule is Atlanta Falcons going to Cincinnati. Cincinnati and Atlanta both 3-3. Lamar Chase is heating up. And both Higgins and Chase are dealing with some lingering injuries. So maybe that offense will slow down. But Cincinnati does about 89 rushing yards a game. So Mixon's been having a slow season. And they're kind of as deep as their wide receiver core is. They're not really showing up. But Atlanta, on the other hand, coming off of a big win, I don't see them capable of doing it again. Atlanta has no receivers. Even Kyle Pitts is having a down season. But that was a big win last week against the 49ers. So the Atlanta defense showed up last week. I don't know if they can do it 2 weeks in a row. So we're going to take Cincinnati. Next game on the schedule is Dallas Cowboys going to Detroit. Detroit may have their running backs back, may have Swift back, but Dallas D is playing really well. They're only allowing 16 points per game, 200 passing yards per game. So we're going to see if Jared Goff can expose that. We don't know who the Dallas quarterback's going to be. I'm pretty sure that Cooper Rush is done for the remainder as long as he can stay healthy. Your boy can stay healthy. I can't even think of his name right now. He hadn't played in a few weeks, so Mississippi State boy. Dallas playing on the road is tough. Detroit has a good chance to keep this game close, but we're going to end up taking Dallas -7. Yeah, that sounds good. Next game is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts and Matt Ryan have been heating up as of late. Matt Ryan's actually one of the top quarterbacks in the league based on passing yards. They're going to Tennessee. So playing against the 3-2 Titans, Tennessee's actually opening it up as a favorite. Jonathan Taylor and Hines are out, so we're going to see their third running back get involved. Indiana's on a 2-game winning streak while Tennessee's on a 3-game winning streak. One of those streaks is going to end. Matt Ryan had a big game-winning drive last week to seal the victory in that big upset. So this week we're going to take Indianapolis +3 again. I think they can get that done against Tennessee. I'm sure Tennessee's going to come to play, but I think Indianapolis offense has a lot of potential that they're beginning to expose. I expect Derrick Henry to have a big game. Next game is going to be the Green Bay Packers, giving up 6 points on the road against Washington, easily coverable. So I really like it as a lock, especially coming off of a loss. Last week, Green Bay had 2 of their punts blocked, so they were just playing horrible. Lazard's really coming into form. I think he's no replacement, but he's looking like he's a pretty good number 1 wide receiver. Green Bay hasn't been covering much this year, so I expect for them to get this done. -6, we're going to take Green Bay. Then we're going to the ultimate disappointment, Tampa Bay. Defense is still playing well. They're giving up 11 in this game, so it's going to be hard to take them to cover any type of spread that big. That spread's on the move. Carolina Panthers are clearly struggling. A 1-win team. Really no offense besides McCaffrey. I don't even know how they would have a chance to win this. But as bad as Tampa Bay's been playing, their running game has clearly been struggling, averaging only 62 yards a game. I'm going to take a chance on them. I'm going to take Tampa Bay -11 for this, see if they can cover that. Next game is an interesting one. New York Giants going to Jacksonville. Giants are actually 5-1. Coming into this game as an underdog. They're getting 3 points. They've been getting it done in different ways. Obviously, Saquon, number 2 rushing back in the league. It's a very suspicious spread. I guess they're thinking highly of that Jacksonville defense. Trevor Lawrence is having an above-average season, but he's still making the same mistakes. So Jacksonville only allowing 89 rushing yards per game. I guess that's why they figure he can slow down Saquon, but I don't see it happening. So we're going to take the Giants +3. It's a good underdog bet. After that, we have the Baltimore Ravens at home. Cleveland Browns are coming to town with that rushing game, 2 big rushing teams. Both defenses are allowing less than 19 points per game, so I'm going to look at the under on that. New York is they're a legit team, but I like Baltimore in this. I'm gonna take Baltimore, give up 6 points. I don't know. I think I think Cleveland's pretty one-dimensional. You try to slow down that running game, you might be able to keep them contained. They're dealing with some lingering injuries. Andrews, Dobbins, and Lamar both have some questionable injuries they're going to be dealing with. So Baltimore's only allowing 102 yards rushing per game. So maybe they can slow down Cleveland. Cleveland's lost to the Jets in Atlanta, so clearly they're not really good. And Baltimore playing at home is going to give them that advantage. We're going to take Baltimore minus the 6. After that, we're looking at the Jets. Zach Wilson's trash like Andy Dalton. But their running game's been working lately. Green Bay had, they blocked 2 of their punts in that win last week. And the Jets they're actually sitting at 4-2. So it's tough to bet with Zach Wilson. But that Jets D-line is one of the highest pressures in the league on quarterbacks. So if that Jets D-line can get to Russell Wilson, which I think they will, I see a way for the Jets to pull this out. Broncos are dealing with a lot of problems internally and with the coaching and with their, staying healthy. Melvin Gordon obviously starting at running back now. So we're trying to take the Jets and actually take the little 2 points or whatever it is, just in case. Next game is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Every time we bet on the Raiders, they lose. This week, for some reason, we're taking them and giving up the 7 points. I guess the Texans are that bad, 1-3. The Raiders are also 1-4. They're battle of the one-loss teams. Houston allowing that 164 rushing yards per game. I think Josh Jacobs will expose that. And they're only producing 99 yards per game. So Derek Carr's looked good, passing the ball. Devontae Adams is having a big year. I think that is enough for the Raiders to get this done at home. So we're going to take the Las Vegas Raiders minus 7. Next game's interesting. Seattle Seahawks plus 6 on the road. They're a 3-3 team going into a 4-2 San Diego Chargers team. Chargers have looked good in other days. Seahawks dealing with a few injuries. They got their third string running back in. Definitely a possible upset game, but with the 6 points, I love that pick. Luckett is questionable. The Chargers rushing 94 yards per game is easily exposable. I think Geno's looked good. But that Seattle D looked good as well against Arizona. So we're going to take Seattle on the road plus 6. After that, we got the 49ers going to the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs obviously one of the highest powered offense in the league, but also giving up a lot of passing yards. They're allowing 289 passing yards per game. 49ers are at home. It's a very suspicious line, but that San Francisco defense is only allowing 15 points per game scored and 87 rushing yards per game. So the San Francisco defense is real. And I think that clearly with the line being only -2, 49ers definitely have a chance. So we're going to take the 49ers and get the 2 points at home. After that, we got Miami going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh coming off of that big upset win. They're sitting at 2-4 now. Miami's giving up 7 points in this game. We're going to take Miami minus the 7. We're not sure if Tua will be back or not. But Pittsburgh only averaging 16 points per game is very beatable. Neither team runs the ball well. So quarterback situation is going to dictate a lot, the matchups. Miami's actually averaging 302 passing yards a game thanks to Hill and Weddle. Definitely making it a little easier on the offense. And Miami being at home, we're going to take them and give up that 7 points. That's actually a lot of points, almost too much, really. In reality, I wouldn't take that game, but if I did, I'd probably take Pittsburgh plus the 7, just from coaching matchups. The last game on the schedule is the Monday night game. It's going to be the Chicago Bears going to New England. We've seen New England blow out teams. Belichick obviously dominates against weaker coach programs. And Bailey Zapp not looking as bad as he could. So we're going to take New England minus the 7 on Monday night. Ramondre Stevenson having a great season. Jacoby Myers and Mac Jones, they're all dealing with these lingering injuries, but they're fighting through them. It's a primetime game at home. I think Belichick shows up for it. Both teams are allowing 19 points per game, which is a decent defense, but the Bears only scoring 15 is really going to be a handicap for them. So that wraps it up for our Week 7 picks. Try to do about 60-70%. Stay away from that 50% mark, even though we're profiting at the 50% mark. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe. Tune in next week for Week 8. May all your bets be live.